LeBron has had a week, hasn't he? He had the groin injury. Now he's back. And for whatever reason, LeBron felt that this was the time. Right now, let me go on a show, the McAfee show, and let me talk about Stephen A. Smith. Let me talk about Bronny James. Let me talk about Michael Jordan. I was very interested and curious why LeBron would choose now. The Lakers are trying to figure out how to play with Luka. They're trying to figure out how good they're going to be. And it's not that you don't have time as a professional athlete to go on a podcast or a radio show or a TV show, but I always want to understand what the purpose is. What's the purpose of LeBron talking about his relationship with Michael Jordan right now? What's the purpose when you know and you agree to do an interview, you know a couple things are going to be talked about. 1, the GOAT debate. 2, Bronny James. 3, Stephen A. Smith. What else? Maybe they could say, hey, are you sad you didn't know about the Luka trade? But that trade now seems like so far in the distance, it's hard to even think about. And what he said was, hey, I'll tell you, I really don't have a relationship with Michael Jordan. And do people find that surprising? Do you think like superstars, even on the same team, have a relationship? You think A-Rod and Jeter are out there having donuts and crumpets and tea? You think that all of a sudden, just because 2 players are Japanese on a team, they're best friends? It doesn't actually work that way. Why would LeBron have a relationship with Michael Jordan? LeBron is out there trying to be better than Michael Jordan. He's trying to win more rings than Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan is highly incentivized for LeBron not to. They are competitors. I agree you can shake hand the way they do at the end of hockey series, and I love that. I agree that once the game ends, you're allowed to be friends, but I'm a Pat Riley guy through and through. When the game is being played, it's not your friend. Period. LeBron did say, when my career's over, maybe I'll have a relationship with MJ like I grew with Kobe, because Kobe and I weren't friends when I was a player. I don't know. Does it matter? Does it matter to you that LeBron James wants to explain why he defended his son to Stephen A. Smith and to all the critics of Bronny James? It pulls at your heartstrings, doesn't it? When LeBron talks about how he feels as a dad, what it was like to be on the court with his son, how he felt it was an out-of-body experience, where he says that we never even talked about it. I don't know. I've done some cool stuff with my son. I'll tell you one thing. We immediately talk about it, like immediately. But LeBron and Bronny haven't talked about the first game they played together. And LeBron wanted you all to make sure that for him, he views Bronny as deserving. He views Bronny as having worked hard and justified as being the draft pick that he was. And I looked at that and said, really? Come on, man. Why don't you wear it? Why don't you get on the show and say, obviously, I was involved in the Lakers drafting Bronny? Can you imagine how hard it is for Bronny to know that? It puts the Nep in autism, and I'm in. But Bronny, he's the perfect guy to let him take advantage of that because he works so hard and he's got a chance to be good and he's progressing and I'm proud of him and I love him. Nope. It was simply about the fact that his development has skyrocketed. This guy is a legit player. I would just as assume and rather that he went a different direction. But then he got to Stephen A. Smith, and that one made me smile. He called out Stephen A. Smith in such a way. That whole thing with the bluster of them meeting on the court and LeBron approaching him, and then Stephen A. saying, I beat him up, and then saying, nah, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't have beaten him up. He would have beaten me up. Stephen A. Smith going on all the shows. I'm only doing it because they forced me. Come on, it's content heaven. For crying out loud, Skip Bayless made a living being a hater of people. Make a living. I make like an 80th of my living because you know my relationship with Derek Jeter. Terrible. People love it. For whatever reason, you're obsessed with this interpersonal stuff that goes on. It's almost like a soap opera that you can't stop watching, and it's got to be fed. The addiction exists in such a way that if there's not some sort of drama, it ends up making you feel like there's no relevance. What a world we live in, where you are required for us to perform in this way. You think that it was all performative? You think that LeBron and Stephen A. Smith know what they're doing as it relates to their relationship off the court? You think the NBA is disappointed? Sponsors are disappointed? I find all of it so ironic because everyone's actually doing the same thing. Everyone is focused on their own production company, their own ratings, their own followers, their own paycheck, their own flow of funds. And they should be, because it's their job. And we're going to give the people what they want. We're going to go full kinks. We're going to play the hits because LeBron, rightly so, looks right in the camera when he does media and says, it's just business.